We have a farm area here. We have an industry, we can say Jelly Belly. We have Route 80. We have a residential neighborhood where people live. So what kinds of things could be happening? What can we show on here?
Like gas.
Yeah, or gas or oil, right? Will you come up and put some oil on this model for us? You put some oil, so cars could be leaking oil, right? That happens. If you don't get your car maintained, you could leak oil. So you can just squeeze some oil behind that car. Perfect, perfect. Thank you. What's something else that's affecting our watershed that's probably not so good for it?
Probably littering.
Excellent. Come on up, litter it. I want you to litter everywhere. This is just today, right? You never litter. Just today?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Just today, she is going to put, you can just give it a good shake.
Toward the ocean.
Excellent. Exactly what happens. Thank you.
Okay, front way, quick.
Take him out!
Okay, I want to see a storm. Come on, they just had a hurricane. I want to see how they do it. So what we have here is called a wetland in a pan. Up here we have, what does this area represent?
Land.
Land. These are our mountains and our higher elevation. What did Mrs. Butler say? The marsh is a sponge. You can see how it sits. The water will run downhill, and the part at the bottom, where does all of our water drain into? What's our watershed? Low point creeks into the ocean. So this represents the ocean at the bottom. Where does it go after the lakes and the rivers? Remember, it goes from the rivers to the ocean. Good. So spray the land a little bit more. Let's see how fast that water runs down the land. Here is Fairfield Suisun. We have the Suisun Marsh and the mountains. So you'll be looking for the highest point on this map and the lowest point. So 5 is the lowest elevation, and what's the highest elevation?
1,738.
1,360.
Great. And what direction is that?
Northwest.
Oh, this is the fishing locations. This is all the numbers. The marina's over there. This is all the numbers.
He's out holding. He don't look like he holds it. His leg is on the other side. Yeah, extinct. The threats to the adult diet. Also, there are lots of threats here. Some threats to the fish are
All this is really nice. All this is really nice.
Okay, number 4 is find your drift. Put your pencils in your pocket and give your journal to someone behind you and ask them very nicely to hold it for you. Okay, thank you.
Give it to him.
Okay.
I gave you. No, you didn't.
So, as you can see, the soil here is a little bit different than where we were before.
Dang.
Grab that little bit, just push your finger down. You can see the soil's very different here. Feel the texture.
It feels weird.
Is it sand, silt, or clay?
I'll make a ball.
Clay.
No.
Okay.
Anybody else want to touch it?
Participation points right here.
Want to touch it?
Our hands.
Smell the soil. Just let them smell your sample, please.
Smells like
Ruben,
smells like sand.
Ruben, contain yourself.
I don't care about my shoes. I do.
Okay, possible sources of water.
All right, so I'm going to get what we're going to call the slough water sample. When you see this in your instructions, it says you need a slough water sample. This is what we're talking about. It is the water from the slough. And we'll see how well I can bring it up. it tends to want to get caught. The bucket wants to get caught. It floats high. Try to guide it up, away from the mud. And it also tends to get a lot of mud in it. Out here, we might test to see whether this is a healthy environment for the plants and animals that live here. And one reason people check the water quality is to see if there's change over time, because you can observe when there's been new pollution, been a change. And the plants and animals that live here need it to be a certain way. They get used to it being a certain way. Certain kinds of chemicals in the water and certain temperature, and when things change, they can die out. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to do our sample. One important thing to remember is we're using these hula hoops because we want to get a random sample. So you take the hula hoop and you toss it, and then that'll be your sample. A random throw, and then start identifying.
Ready? I'm going to do a random throw. I'm doing a random throw.
You want to take a little taste? Just see the little green ones. Just take a little tiny bite. And just to get a taste to see what it tastes like.
You like it?
Sour, I heard someone say. What are some other descriptive words?
Salty.
Salty, sour. What about the texture?
Hard. It's like pickle.
Kind of hard. What, any other textures?
Through the bulrushes, past the cattails, onwards we go through the Suisun Marsh. We hear a rustle in the grass and look to see a mouse scurry away. An egret calls somewhere from the water, hidden from our searching eyes. We shake our heads at the pepperweed and encourage the pickleweed to keep fighting. Onwards we go through the Suisun Marsh.
Beautiful land with things from nature you thought you couldn't see. Birds, plants, mammals, all for miles with peace and harmony. Mountain hills with trees, please come with me. The sights and smells are so calming to be.
Have you hiked? We hiked up a hill with a lot of trees, plants, grass. We even saw a tule house and beautiful mountains.